I have 600,000 followers on TikTok, and Claude Code has completely changed how I do social media. So in this video, I'm going to give you my 7-step playbook for dominating social media with Claude Code. Let's get into it. Let's start with step 1. Research. This is how we find winning content ideas that are guaranteed to work. I'm going to do this live with an app I built called Pennywise. It's a personal finance app with zero social media presence. So we're starting from scratch. And everything I'm about to show you works the same way no matter what you're promoting. A product, a service, a personal brand, whatever. The first question we need to answer is, what do we even post about? You see, personal finance is huge, so we can't just post about money. Our first priority then is breaking down personal finance into the subtopics that people are actually searching for. And Claude Code can figure that out for us in 1 second with a simple prompt. So Claude gave us 12 subtopics, and the one I want to focus in on is budgeting. People search for this every single day. Best budget, budgeting tips, budgeting apps. There's constant demand here. But we need to go a level deeper. We need to know the specific questions people are asking about budgeting. And there's a really easy and effective way to find that out. When you go to Google something, you know those people also ask boxes that pop up? Those are gold. That's Google literally telling you these are the exact questions people are typing in right now. So if we can pull those questions and then make content that actually answers them in an entertaining way, that's not a guess. That's a guaranteed content idea. Now, to do this, we have 2 options. First, the manual way. You just Google budgeting, scroll through the people also ask questions, and copy them. That works, but it's slow. The faster way is to connect Claude Code to a data source that already has this information. I found this tool called SERP API. I just used the free version, and all you have to do is create an account and tell Claude Code to connect to it. That's it. Claude handles the setup. Once it's connected, we just prompt Claude to search Google for budgeting and pull back the top 30 people also ask questions with no duplicates. So what would have taken us an hour of scrolling through Google, Claude does in about 10 seconds. So now we have our topics, but the next step is where most people mess it up. They get their topic list and just turn on the camera and start recording. That's like writing a book and not thinking about the title or the cover. You could write the best budgeting book ever made. If the title and cover doesn't grab someone in 2 seconds, nobody's reading it. So the same thing applies on social media. The hook and the format of your video matter just as much as the content inside it. So before we record anything, we need to figure out what's already working. And the beautiful thing is, the algorithm literally shows you. Every viral video in your niche is a free case study. You can see exactly what hooks, what formats, and what structures are getting millions of views right now. So we're going to take those proven formats and remix them to fit our topics. It's basically like getting the answers to the test before you take it. So I highly recommend you use TikTok search here. I found that TikTok has the most powerful search platform. So we'll type in the questions that we got from people also asked and start looking at the videos and creators that have performed well. Now, a tip here. You want to find creators whose style matches what you actually want to make. The format I recommend is talking head. That's just you talking to the camera with minimal graphics on screen. Could you go more viral with vlogs or super polished edits? Maybe. But if you want the simplest path to getting started, talking head is it. So I found this creator that I liked named Eric. He makes talking head content about personal finance, and he's getting thousands of views per video. Now the question is, what is he doing that's working? What does he say in the first 3 seconds to get you to stop scrolling? How does he structure the rest of the video to get you to keep watching? And then how do we take all of that and apply it to our topics, the ones people are already searching for? So this is where we bring Claude back in. We're going to have it scrape and transcribe all of this creator's videos and analyze for us what's working. To do this, I'm using a scraping tool called Appify. I'm on the free version and I just installed the Appify connector inside Claude. If you don't know how to do that, literally just ask Claude and it will walk you through it. Once that's set up, we're going to tell Claude to find this creator's top 20 videos, transcribe every single one, and then break down the winning hooks, formats, and structures across all of them. And I want to call this out. I'm not telling you to copy anyone's content. That's not what this is. Instead, we're studying what works. If you wanted to make a hit song, you wouldn't just sit in a room and guess. You'd listen to other hit songs and figure out why they work. What's the structure? What's the melody doing? Where does the chorus hit? We're just doing the exact same thing. So now we have 2 things. We have the questions people are actually searching for, and we have a full breakdown of what's working for a creator in our niche. Now we can combine them. I'm going to take both of these analyses and paste them into one prompt and have Claude cross-reference them. So for each budgeting question people are searching for, Claude is going to look at the hook formats that perform best and pick the one that fits this topic. And immediately I'm drawn to this first one. The search term is, what is the 50-30-20 budget rule? That's a super common budgeting rule people use. Then Claude gives me the hook. The 50-30-20 rule is ruining your finances and nobody will tell you why. And then Claude explains to me why this works. You're taking something people already believe in, the 50-30-20 rule, and telling them that it's wrong. That immediately creates a curiosity gap. They have to know why. And on top of that, you're going to get supporters and haters in the comments, which is exactly what the algorithm wants to see. And this concept applies to whatever niche you're in. If you take a common practice in your space and challenge it, that format is almost guaranteed to perform if you execute it well. All right, step one is done. We know what people are searching for, we know what formats are getting views, and we have 30 video ideas ready to go. If you're getting value from this, we break down stuff like this every week in our newsletter. Links in the description. And if you're a brand that wants to work together, sponsorship info is down there too. Okay, but now we move on to step two, creating the content. And this is where it gets hard, because having a great idea doesn't matter if the actual video is boring. We have to turn this idea into something people want to watch. That means we can't just throw this video together. We need to start by writing a compelling script. We're going to connect to Apify again to scrape Eric's videos and use those transcripts as a reference for how he scripts his content. Then we're going to tell Claude to write us a script for our 50-30-20 video in that style. It gave me back this script, and as I read through it, I would give this a B. Claude did a solid job. The structure is there, the hook is there, the flow makes sense, but this is not ready to film yet. This is the part where you come in. You need to go through the script line by line and make it sound like you. Change the words you wouldn't use and add the things you'd naturally say. And you don't need to be a professional scriptwriter to do this. You're just asking yourself, would I actually say this on camera? And if the answer is no, you change it until the answer is yes. I'm gonna be honest, this part takes time. Don't rush it. The difference between a video that feels AI generated and a video that actually connects with people is this step right here. This is where your personality goes in, and that's one thing that AI cannot do for you. So now I'm happy with this script, and it's time to add the graphics. You know when you're watching a video and a chart pops up on screen or text appears to highlight a point? That's what we're making here. There's a free tool I use called Remotion, and Claude can connect to it and design those graphics for you. I'm gonna give Claude my script and have it find the 3 best moments where a graphic on screen would help the viewer understand what I'm saying. And for each one, it's gonna tell me exactly what the graphic should look like. It gives me this table with my script on the left and the visuals on the right. And now we're ready to record. You don't need any fancy equipment for this. I've gotten 600,000 views on my personal TikTok using only my iPhone. For a talking head video, there's really only 2 things to keep in mind. First, make sure your audio is good. This could literally be you wearing wired headphones and using the mic on those. And 2, have good lighting. Just make sure you're facing a window. That's it. Go through your script line by line and don't worry if you mess up. Just redo the line and keep going. Because in the next step, we're gonna have AI edit all the bad takes for us, which brings us to step 3, editing. I have my raw video of me going through the script, and now I need to turn this into something that's actually ready to post. The first thing we want to do is remove our bad takes and silence from the video. If your video has a lot of pauses and dead space, people are just going to scroll past it. So here's what I'm telling Claude Code to do. I'm giving my video file and my script, and I'm saying, transcribe everything I said, figure out where the silences are, find the best take of each line, and throw out the rest and stitch it all together. It's doing what a video editor would do in Premiere, but automatically. And after about a minute, it gives me this cleaned up version. All the stumbles are gone, all the dead air is gone. It kept the best take of every line. And I didn't have to touch an editing tool. Now we bring in those visuals. I'm gonna give Claude that table we made earlier, the script on the left, the visual descriptions on the right, and have it build each graphic using Remotion. For each one, I can choose whether it's an overlay that sits on top of me while I'm talking, or a full screen graphic that takes over the entire frame. And here's where it gets really cool. Because Claude has access to the actual code of my Pennywise app, it can pull the colors, fonts, and design from the app and use those in the graphics. And if you don't have a code base, you can just give Claude your brand colors, your logo, photos of your product, whatever you have. And if you have nothing, it'll just use a clean, minimal style. It'll work with what you've got. Now, you could try to have Claude place these graphics into your video for you. I've tried it, it works okay. But honestly, it's way easier to just drop them in yourself. Use a free editor like CapCut, iMovie, or whatever you have on your computer. All you're doing is dragging the graphic onto your timeline and lining it up with the right part of the video. Now, last thing before the video done is captions. If you're posting short form content without captions, you're leaving views on the table. predictable. Most people watch video with the sound off at first. Captions keep people reading even when they aren't listening. So I'm going to have Claude transcribe my video and burn the captions directly on the video. I don't need a separate app for this. And just like that, in a few minutes, we have a finished video. Scripts, visuals, edit, captions, all done. Which brings us to step 4, getting this post out into the world. Now, I could go into TikTok and upload this manually, but we can also connect Claude Code directly to a social media scheduler and have it post for us. I personally use a tool called PostBridge, but there's plenty of other tools like Buffer, Later. There's plenty of schedulers that work great. Pick whatever the one you already use, and to connect it to Claude, we're going to set up what's called an MCP. All that means is it lets Claude talk to another app. I just tell Claude to set this up and it handles the rest. So now I'm going to schedule this video to TikTok for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Done. It'll go out without me touching the app. Now, I do want to give you a heads up here. In my experience, platforms prefer when you post directly inside the app. And that kind of makes sense. They want you on the platform. So if you're just starting out, I'd actually recommend posting manually for now and saving the scheduling for when you have a lot of content going out across multiple channels. That's when it really starts to save you a lot of time. And now that we've started posting, we need to look at the numbers and figure out which videos are performing well and why. That's step number 5, analyzing. Every social media platform gives you analytics, but they just hand you a bunch of numbers and expect you to figure it out. We're going to pull that data out and have Claude do a real breakdown for us. For this example, I'm going to use my personal TikTok account with 600,000 followers since it has way more data to work with. So first, I'm going to go into TikTok Studio, go to Analytics, and export the last 365 days of data. Then I'm going to give Claude all that data and ask it to do 5 things. First, give me a gut check on how this week is going. Second, compare that to how I've been doing over the past month, 2 months, and a full year to see if I'm trending up or trending down. Third, look at my actual videos and tell me which ones are performing well and what they have in common. Fourth, break down my audience. Who's watching, where are they from, and when are they online? And fifth, take all of that and give me a specific plan on what to do next. Basically, I want Claude Code to be my content strategist, not just showing me the numbers, but telling me what those numbers mean and what to do about them. And it spits out this full breakdown. I mean, people pay thousands of dollars for this kind of analysis, and Claude gives it to us in seconds from a single data export. But I don't want to stop at just knowing what's working. I want Claude to actually tell me what to do next. So I'm going to take the recommendations from this analysis, connect it back to Appify, and have Claude go find real creators on TikTok who are already doing what it's recommending for me. So if the analysis says I should be doing more myth-busting content, Claude is going to go find the top myth-busting videos in my niche, show me what's performing, and then build out a content calendar that combines what's working for them and what's already working for me. Now we have a plan that's backed by real data from our account and real results from other creators. But this is a lot to read. I don't want to scroll through a wall of text every time I want to check how I'm doing. So I'm going to have Claude Code take everything, the analysis, the trends, the recommendations, and turn it into a visual dashboard that I can open in my browser. And now I have this professional dashboard that honestly, I worked in consulting. This is what companies pay thousands of dollars to get built. And I'm doing it with a Claude subscription. And everything we just did, the research, the scripting, the editing, the posting, the analysis, that's not a one-time thing. It's a cycle. You want to take what you learned from the analysis, go back to step 1, do better research, make better videos, post them, analyze again. And every time you go through this cycle, the content gets sharper because you're not guessing anymore. You have the data telling you exactly what to improve. Without Claude, that cycle takes months or even years. With Claude, you can run through it in a day. And if you just keep running that cycle, it's only a matter of time before your content takes off. Now, we just did a ton of work to make this video. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they post the video and just move on. But you just created a great piece of content. Why would you only use it once? That's step 6, repurposing. I'm going to take the script we already wrote and have Claude turn it into a LinkedIn post, a tweet, and an email newsletter. It's the same idea, but rewritten so each one feels natural on that platform. So now one video turns into 4 pieces of content. And all that research and effort we put in doesn't go to waste. It multiplies. Claude gives me back all 3 posts. And just like the video script, these are a starting point. Don't copy and paste what Claude gives you and hit publish. Go in, read through them, and change the words that don't sound like you and add your own takes. The AI gets you 80% of the way there. You bring in that last 20%. And once I'm happy with these posts, I can use a scheduler like PostBridge to send these out across my platform so everything goes live without me having to manually post each one. And that brings us to the final final step, automating. And I need to give you a warning here before we get into this. The biggest mistake I see is people trying to automate everything before they even understand the process. I've been doing social media for years and I still hesitate to automate a ton, so do not rush this. Now, that being said, there are things you can do to speed up your workflow. The main one I use is Claude Skills. A skill is basically a set of instructions that you save so you don't have to explain the same workflow from scratch every time. So let's say every time you analyze your TikTok data, you're giving Claude the same prompt with the same sections and format. Instead of typing that out every time, you can just tell Claude to package that up into a skill. Now, the next time you need it, you just tell Claude to use your skill and it's ready to go. Now, you're going to be tempted to build one giant skill that does everything: research, scripting, editing, posting, all in one. Do not do that. Keep your skills very focused. One skill does one thing. Because if you bundle everything together and one part breaks, now you have to dig through that whole thing to figure out what went wrong. Now, the other thing you can do is schedule tasks. This is where Claude runs something for you automatically on a schedule without you having to open it. Like, let's say every Monday morning you want Claude to pull your latest analytics and start drafting a script from your top performing video idea. You can set that up with a scheduled task. But honestly, I'd use scheduled tasks sparingly right now. Get your process so dialed in first. So if you haven't already, go sign up for the newsletter. And if you're a brand that wants to work together, that link is in the description too. What video should we make next? I'll see you next week.